Welcome, people. You already know what it is. We're back on EGTV. Vibes from the 6. You already know what it is. Why did I say from the 6? You already know
there's
why.
6 of us.
We got 6 of us in the house. We got Leauge in the house. We got AK in the house. We got Husam in the house. We got Alan in the house. We got Mojo in the house. You already know what it is. The host himself, Egal, we're here. But before we get any further, today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. Let you guys know what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be discussing Cristiano Ronaldo slapping a phone out of a fan's hand. What was he doing? We're going to be talking about Arsenal. Obviously, my beloved Arsenal dropping off and falling out of the top 4. Tottenham taking advantage of it. We're going to be talking about Manchester City and Manchester. Why did I say Manchester City twice? Manchester City and Liverpool and this title race going down to a 4-goal thriller today at the Etihad. And we're also going to be talking about Mason Mount putting his team on his back and carrying them to 6 goals versus Southampton. We're going to talk about Son and Kane doing what they do and just being super clinical against an Aston Villa side that didn't even give them any threat. But before we go any further, Dabs wants to say something.
He's smoking.
Sorry, one last thing. I'm not going to let what Ronaldo did was disgraceful, but I'm also not going to let that deflect from talking about them losing to Frank Lampard's Everton. That's very fucking important.
We're going to get into that.
Okay.
Wait, guys.
I thought I was casing. I thought Ronaldo helped me.
Just don't let Ronaldo do that.
By the way, let you guys know.
Guys, just so you know, the whole build up to the show, we've been in the backstage for about 5 minutes. The whole no one has mentioned United. We've just been talking about Ronaldo. I thought I was casing.
He did it on purpose.
You're going to get into it. I also have the video for the Ronaldo thing. But before we do that, let's just look back at some of the predictions that were made before this week, right? Obviously, we already know Husam said a couple weeks ago.
Then we're doing a title card. So,
and he was right. It is Liverpool are doing a title charge. They are competing for this title. But there was also some other stuff that was said, which I didn't even get up right now. Dabs ended up disappearing and didn't do a prediction, as you know. Husam backed his team and said 2-1, but it ended up being a 4-goal thriller, 2-2. I'm just gonna say my piece first before we go any further. I thought the fair result at the end, and I felt like City took the lead twice. Liverpool came back and fought back, and both teams canceled each other out. But City were the better team, in my opinion, for majority of the game. City did take advantage. City were the team that if anyone was going to win, it was going to be City. But Liverpool showed resilience, fight to come back into this game twice from a deficit. And you know what? This just to show you, the same thing happened at Anfield. City came back twice. So the two teams at the end of the season, you're going to look back at the 2 games. They both ended 2-2. But yeah.
It came back. I thought it was the other way around. Was it us? It came back at Anfield as well.
At Anfield.
yeah, that's what he's saying. Other way around. City, you came back twice. Anfield, we came back twice.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right, other way around.
Yeah. Let's go to Dabs, because Dabs had something to say. You were at the game, bro. From your point of view, what was it like? What was the atmosphere? How was it? Because I've seen a lot of people. The tension.
Don't lie, bro. He was wrecking it, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It was electric, and the City fans were at the stadium from very early, very, very early. But it was, when it's electric, but it's tense as shit. Like, and even through the game, as like the game changed, you could even hear the fans were like going quiet, and it was. I mean, I wasn't in the stand I'm usually in today, which I kind of was all right because I needed to leave early and everything. But what a game, man! It was like. It had been put up as this high quality game, and it could have been quite easily been a really boring, really average game. And it was so good. The reason why I was nervous, right, is because these last couple of weeks, last probably 6 weeks, we've been not the City that you usually see business end of the season when we come alive. Yeah. And I did this rant about how we decided we don't want to win it easily. We want to fight with Liverpool for whatever reason. Now we need the Yaya or the company or the Aguero or the Silva to step the fuck up and drag us over the line. And I don't know who that is. And that was my worry, that today Liverpool looked like they had the bit between the teeth, not us. From the minute the game started, it was completely different. And I thought, you know what? This looks like we are the team, rightly so, that have won 3 of the last 4 Premier Leagues, and they look like a team that have only won 1 and are actually a little bit nervous. Like they weren't looking like the Liverpool that I thought could come to the Etihad and actually smoke us deep down. They didn't. We did. I think we should have won, but I think a draw is a fair result as well. We weren't clinical enough. We already know that about City. De Bruyne was on smoke. I told everyone that Jesus would start. I told you, the importance of him in these games, leading the press. And what a first half. Should have come off because he should have dragged it back for 2 people. But what we moved, same. Nothing's changed. 1 point in it. Tottenham United, do us a favour.
Man said United, do us a favour.
United, do us a favour. That's the funniest.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing if you can host while off mute, Egal. That would be incredible.
That was a comedy bit. That was
Husam,
a comedy bit.
Go ahead.
Ah,
I'm
Lord.
sorry, guys.
You see when Egal was saying that draw was the fair result, etc. You noticed, of course, there are only 2 fan bases on Twitter and everywhere, and unless they have a Liverpool agenda, that are doing this whole the gulf in class between City and Liverpool showed today, and it showed that City are this incredible team, and that's the United and Chelsea fan base. And let me just address the people. The reason why the United and Chelsea fan base do this is because they want to push this whole narrative that City is above everyone else, but them and Liverpool and blah, blah, blah are all in the same bracket, which isn't true, because we know that's categorically not true. So, when they look at this game, they're like, oh, the gulf in class. I don't think there was a massive gulf in class at all, to be honest. I think first half we played absolutely, we weren't good in the first half. We came out a bit lethargic. Second half, we improved a lot. Second half, I thought second half we were the better team, in my opinion, in the second half. First team, they were much the better team. Second half, we controlled things a bit more. In my opinion, if you made a world 11 of players bar Manchester City and played Man City would still create opportunities. They would still get into dangerous positions because they're Man City. So you cannot absolutely stop Man City from getting a chance, but you can limit them. And I think in that second half, we limited them well. I think the both goals we scored were a good link-up play. The reason we did not do well today is a mixture of things for me. Once again, our striker, our amazing, better than Figo, Diogo Jota, who cannot pass a football to save his life. I watched a compilation just before coming on here, and I got more and more pissed off every time I watched it. And I said this in the pre-game stuff, and I said it to Daps, and I said this on the Liverpool show I did on my channel, and I said, we are going to get a counter-attacking opportunity, and Jota is going to fuck up the pass, and that's exactly what he did, because he cannot pass to save his life. Also, we have to give a special shout-out to Captain Fantastic, number 14, you get me? Honestly, if I speak on him, I promise you I will break something. I'm trying to stop myself
I don't even know that
from cussing.
Jordan
Henderson.
I want to stop myself from cussing. I want to stop myself from breaking something right now, because the holy month as well, and I don't want him to take all my hasanat, so let me just be quiet. But this man is genuinely the worst captain I have seen in my whole lifetime. I wish we went back to the shit era and he was the captain in our shit era and they gave us Gerrard now. I just wish that existed in some sort of world, because that would be amazing. So anyway, look, I said this to Daps as soon as the game finished. Emotionally, I just feel numb right now. I'm not happy. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. There's not, because we enter this week the same way we leave this week. They're 1 point ahead. We're 1 point behind. Blah, 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 blah. It's a draw. Whatever. Like, I don't have any emotional, like, annoying. I'm not annoyed or anything. I'm okay with it. You know, you go away to the Etihad, you get a point. 19 other teams in the league would take that result happily. They'd bite your hand off for it. So I'm okay with it, man.
Not me.
We get the draw.
Don't put me on your level. I take 3 points when I go to the Etihad.
Okay, my bad.
You know what? And I'm slightly different.
How's it been since the 6 points? Can you just give us an example?
Let's not talk on that. We can come to your club in a minute. We can come to Frank Lampard spanking your club in a minute, bro.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. But we have time.
But the reason why I'm slightly different to Husam, I guess, is, and it's not because the obvious we are still top, it's because I've worried about the mentality of our players over the last couple of weeks. Like, if a few people have said, are we more focused on the Champions League? And today I saw a City team that wanted to win the game. They clearly want to win the league. De Bruyne stepped the fuck up. De Bruyne was unreal today. Stones was sensational. I think our worst player was probably Henderson, to be fair. But yeah, I'm happy because I've seen now we do have to fight in the Premier League still, and that carrying on. Now we're going to go to Atletico. We're going to do it over there. But then when we get back to the Premier League, we've got Brighton at home, Watford at home. We need the same mentality as today. None of this slacking like Crystal Palace. We need to go out there, get a job done, and get us over the line and get us our 4 in 5 Premier Leagues. Complete domestic whitewash. Boom, bam.
Like a couple of years ago. Listen, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to throw it over to the rest of the panel. But just before we do that, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Mata United, for reminding me on showing people how to hit that like button. If you guys don't already know, you go to the channel. There's a little like button right here. You click that like button. And right next to it, there's a red button. If you want to click that, you can subscribe. And if you want to become a member, there's a join button. You can press join. That's how you do it. But yeah, big up my guy.
Let's get into the game, man. Listen.
AK, go ahead.
I actually don't have anything negative to say, you know. Listen, all jokes aside, it's especially as a United fan who has to go through torture every week watching my football club play. It's actually a pleasure to watch 2 football clubs who are so good. Like, let's be real, they're both incredible teams. Pep Guardiola's Man City is the closest that you will get to perfection. I don't think you can get closer than that to perfection when it comes to football. Absolutely cannot. Daps, don't shake your head at me like that.
No, not you. I'm shaking your head at the comments. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do what Steve tells me to. Comments no more. I'm not going to watch him no more.
Listen, the way Manchester City control the game, the way they, whether you like it or not, you could be the best team in the world, you could be the most possession-based team in the world, you could be the most counter-attack based, whatever your style of football is, it doesn't matter when you play against City because you're playing what they want you to play. If they want you behind that ball in your half, you're staying behind that ball in your own half. Yeah. And if you're good enough to catch them on the counter like Harry Kane did, then good on you, you'll get a couple of goals. And it's the honest truth. You will get your goals if you can do that effectively. But if you can't do that effectively, they will make you look like a bunch of kids. So I wasn't surprised. I'll be real. For me, I thought it was going to be a City were just going to run the show. Liverpool played a lot better than I expected them to, even though I know that wasn't Liverpool at their best. Liverpool fans should be a little bit disappointed today. Not in the result necessarily, but in the fact that the team didn't give the best performance that they could have gave out there today, because that was a crucial title game, and they should have gone out there and played at their very, very best. The first half, it was boys against men. Trent Alexander-Arnold, people keep saying he was getting cooked all the time. There was a few occasions where I can say he was getting cooked. There's a few occasions where he got cooked, but for the most of it,
him some very key passes as well.
But for the most of it, it was just Trent doing what Trent does week in, week out. Like, it wasn't anything special or anything incredible.
We're not going to give him any credit for the opening goal.
That's what I'm saying. He still had some passes there. Yeah, carry on, sorry.
No, you're good.
Egal is getting there, but as always, you interrupt AK. So, you know, if you let him speak.
Don't do that. Listen, today, it's crazy because this is the way I look at it, right? It's the 2 best teams in arguably the best league in the world and the 2 best teams on top of their game at the moment. And after that game finished, we all sat there and we spoke about the fullbacks. Just imagine for a second. We sat there and we spoke about the quality from both fullbacks, the left backs and the right backs, because that's what this game was based around. If you look at the periods of play where each team was dominating, when Trent and Robbo were getting on the ball and getting up that pitch, Liverpool were dominating the game.
Yeah, I thought Robertson was good.
Robbo was pretty good today. KDB tried to test him a couple of times in the first half, but he managed to deal with it effectively. But whenever you saw Cancelo getting, I mean, them assists. Look at both of those assists, man. Especially that Cancelo one. That ball was fucking perfect, bro. Like Alisson couldn't move, and the defense trying to play that offside line, it will backfire once or twice. So it is what it is. Listen, I actually have, for the first time ever, I have nothing negative to say about City or Liverpool. I think we witnessed a very, very good game, and it was a pleasure to watch the game. And I'm looking forward to it this weekend because, as I said, I go through torture every single week. So getting to watch teams of that level play football at that high level is a pleasure for me. I just have to sit back and enjoy it. So,
AK, you mean the FA Cup?
The FA Cup game, yeah.
I think it's going to be highly rotated from both.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, but again, it's still the fact that it's these two managers and it's players that are, even if they rotate it, it's players that are used to the system. The quality might not be where it was today, but it's still going to be the same incredible kind of tactical football that we saw today. So I'm still looking forward to it. And the last thing is, Husam is right. People keep saying, including myself, I said at halftime, though, that's the difference. At halftime, there was a space where I said that you can tell the gulf in quality. And at halftime, that was a correct statement. There was a big gulf in the quality of the two teams. But coming out to that second half, Liverpool got their shit together. And yeah, you can never stop City from creating. You just have to limit how much they create. And as much as it looked like City were dominating, they weren't really doing much with it, if that makes sense. Like they just had the ball in and around. So I think Liverpool did well to deal with it. Points shared, 1 point still between them. I'm saying we move into next game. Liverpool's next game is who?
I think you lot in it. It's your
in the league, Manchester United.
Boys, listen, come on.
Easiest game of the season.
Just before Alan goes.
Egal, can I address the super chat, please? Because he's my guy and he's talking about Liverpool.
Better tell him.
Let me just address him. Big up to you, Doc LFC, my guy as always. If City win the league, number 14 needs to be on a trophy bus. Been playing against us all season. 2 Ferraris on the field and one has half an engine. And you know what it is with this number 14 guy? There's a clip that, you know what it is? I'm literally now just gonna go in the GC and I'm gonna send you the clip. And that clip made me lose my mind. It was like a clip in the first half where Mo did really well, passed it to Mane. Mane did well. Mane controlled the ball, passed it to Thiago. Thiago did really well, passed it to Henderson. And then Henderson, in a position where you either pass or shoot, decided to cross from the middle of the pitch into a City goal kick. So I'm going to send it in the GC now. I just want everyone to waste 8 seconds of their life.
I know exactly which one you're talking about as well.
So that's all I want to do. So big up to you, Doc LFC. And number 14, let me not speak.
No, it's Alan.
Husam.
Yeah, so
this is the clip where he literally just plays the ball. Nobody's there.
Yes. Okay. I know you can't play the clip fully, but if you can just pause it at the moment before Henderson crosses, that's all I want from you. If you could just do that, because I just want to address this for 10 seconds. And people always say you have an agenda, blah, 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 blah. Fabinho didn't play well today. But when you have to play, Claude Makalele would have not played well today, I guess, next to this guy. So let me just see this moment right here. Subhanallah. Thank you so much, Egal. See what happened. I just want to tell the people what happened. Mo passed it from that right wing spot into Mane. Mane controlled it well. Passed it to Thiago. Thiago, pressure from the defense, passed it well. Henderson is in a position now where literally any normal footballer with a normal IQ, just a normal footballer, that's all it is. A normal footballer with a normal IQ. You either pass it to Mo, pass it to Thiago again, maybe even shoot, no problem. What he does is he then crosses it from that position, crosses it into the space behind Laporte, and it goes out for a goal kick. These are the things where in the big games you simply cannot have. And even though is a player I always used to get onto, if Naby Keita started this game ahead of number 14, our ball retention, our control would have been 100 times better. So
I mean, you know what the thing is, the thing is that I get what you're saying, but all these type of things, there's all of these. Like a City fan, to be fair, tried talking to me about referees. I was like, I don't want to hear it. Sterling was offside. Thiago maybe should have got sent off, but it was the 85th minute. Doesn't matter. Wouldn't have changed the game. So Gabriel Jesus had an amazing first half. Second half should have pulled the ball back. It's all woulda, couldas and all that. And Alan, over to you. Tag you in.
Alan.
So for me, this is exactly what I said it was going to be. A really good game of football. The two best clubs going at it. And I also predicted a nice little Desmond 2-2 draw. So I was correct on this. You're welcome. To be fair, I think this result benefits Liverpool more, and I'll tell you why. So Man City in that first half should have been well ahead. You had the chance by pointing ahead at home and the way you were playing to bury Liverpool, and you didn't take your chances, and they came back and they took that point. And it weren't this game that you were really looking. Hold on, no, and I'll be honest here. It weren't this game that you were looking at as
I get the alliance.
No. Proper banana skin, because it's not been Liverpool or big teams that you've come unstuck against. It's the smaller teams. So you still have to go and play them teams. Now, Liverpool obviously have got big games coming up. They've got Spurs, and as we know, Spurs like to, slap Liverpool about. Apparently, no, it never happens. You struggle against the smaller teams. No, I'm joking, Husam. Calm down. I'm not like Egal. I don't go bigging up things that ain't gonna happen.
Friends.
You're welcome. Don't cry, Dap. 6 points. Anyway, yeah. So for me,
I love
not the top of the league.
I know. Good for you. Liverpool still win the title. Yeah, so you had the chance to bury them 4 points, to go 4 points ahead and all that, but you didn't take your chances. Yeah. And I think that may come back to Tonya.
It might do, but the key for me is the form going into this. Liverpool, based on form, Liverpool should have won today. And what happened today is we showed
no.
Okay, can I show you guys something?
But you didn't.
Even based on form, I wouldn't say no one in the right mind can say. Daps, there are 2 stadiums in the Premier League that no one can say you're going to go away to and win, and that's Anfield and the Etihad. Let's not play games here. We know
no, we're not. But most of your fan base did, to be fair.
Forget the fact that there are fans in your fan base who are just as bad. Let's not do this. Address me, I address you. Forget fan bases.
Ayo.
Go on, Egal. Show us a graph.
Graphics with Egal. Let's do this. Anyways, we got XG right here, as you can see. Manchester City, and Liverpool's XG is basically very close. So you cannot say on the scale of that. Just looking at the actual chances that they had. Obviously, City had more chances, quality of chances. You can look at that City. Liverpool took more shots, more opportunities to actually shoot on goal, more opportunities to actually try to score. Even though some of them, there were half chances, they're not going to ever score. Like the one that went out for the free kick that was not given as a free kick.
Wait, did you say City had? Did you say Liverpool had more shots?
Liverpool had more shots, as you can see.
Yeah, we did. AK.
Wait, put that graph back up.
I'm sorry. I'm mistaking it.
City had nearly double.
City had more shots. Yeah. Sorry, City had more shots. Liverpool had quality of shots. I'm just mixed up.
I think we had more shots on target. Sorry.
No, you didn't have more shots on targets. You had a better percentage of shots on target.
Yeah, you had the more quality shots. They had the more shots in total. My apologies. I had it mixed up. But when you look at that graphic, it basically tells you that it was a closer game than people expected. I mean,
Egal, the thing is, outside this game, here's the thing now. You guys are going to talk about title race and stuff. Me personally, I'm going to be honest, this is not over yet. City could drop points, we could drop points. You never know what happens. I think I've listed down 3 games. And here's, I just listed down all games. In my opinion, this is my opinion, Daps, so please don't interrupt. So I think Newcastle at home, 100% City win. Watford at home, 100% City win. Brighton, 100% City win. Leeds away, 100% City win. That Leeds game, they're going by 5 or 6. Now, there's 3 games I listed for 3 different reasons. I listed the Wolves away game, I listed the West Ham away game, and I listed the Villa at home game. There's 3 different reasons. The storyline, of course, the storyline game is the Villa one because of the Gerrard, the Coutinho, the blah, 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 the link to Liverpool, so they could do us a favor, etc., etc. The footballing, from a footballing perspective, the toughest game is hands down Wolves away. That's the 100%, the toughest fixture City have left is Wolves away. That's the game where, even when we won the league in that season, they dropped points against City. They lost to Wolves twice, 3-2 and 2-0. I think it was at the Etihad. Adama Traore scored twice. There's the other game which I listed is the West Ham one. This one has a bit more detailed spin to it. The reason why I listed West Ham down is because West Ham this season have not beaten the teams they're expected to beat, but done very well against the teams that they're not expected to beat. They gave us a very tough time at Anfield, and they beat us away from home. They beat Chelsea as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They beat Arsenal as well, and they beat Spurs under Nuno, if I am not mistaken. I hope I'm not wrong. So they sort of beat all the teams above them. So maybe that could be something. But if I were to look at it from purely football, the one game I would write down is Wolves away. That's the.
But Husam, if you flip it and then you look at it from, Egal, put that back up, please. If you look at it from the Liverpool perspective, Husam.
Liverpool ones, besides Tottenham, it's all wins.
By the way,
you don't think the Villa one has? You don't think the Villa one has a storyline for Liverpool? Continue.
No.
No.
Gerrard's going to bend over and
I
take
think there's
it.
I think there's more of a storyline for Liverpool Villa than there is for City and Villa.
Liverpool Villa, we always do well away as well over there.
Just
again,
a news flash.
Imagine Steven Gerrard.
That's the team we always beat, AK. Even
I'm pretty sure City beat Villa all the time as well. If we look back.
By the way, just a little one. The Wolves.
Yes, but Gerrard's there now,
exactly.
So he's gonna open.
Gerrard, Liverpool.
What do you say about
Yeah, you think he would want to stop us from winning the league again? No, he
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
I mean, he stopped you once already.
Cool.
He could do it.
It's a minor one. I'm just saying the City Wolves game's been postponed, so that's moving to a different point. So our next game is 2 on the bounce. We've got Brighton at home, then Watford at home. The Wolves.
That's a good way to build momentum. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but AK, you didn't listen to him. The Wolves game has been postponed.
Yeah.
So the Wolves game now, Wolves away, could come in between West Ham away and another game.
He's clutching.
So now
he's looking for any reason that Liverpool might. He's like,
am I giving the people facts or am I just making up shit?
I think you're kind of making up the whole narrative.
How did I make it up? So the Wolves game got postponed. So when are they going to play?
That's facts. No, that's facts. But
aren't they going to play it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
We don't know when it's going to be.
Do you want me to finish?
There you go, Dan.
All right, so what I was saying is that's factual, but then you go in, which means that is you just making this narrative.
No, it means that it's going to be played after West Ham away,
fact.
which is a fact.
Right, carry on. Anyway,
hey, Mojo, you're the
keep
last
clutching
one.
the stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Pressure's on for you, man.
Okay, Dabs. Okay, this isn't over, my brother. This isn't over.
1 second.
We're going to win this league title, bro. We're going to win this league title.
Mojo, you're next.
Clip it. We're going to win the league. No problem.
Okay, say it again.
Bro, I cannot get me to say shit again. I'm not a robot. Just clip the stuff I already said.
3 times. We got that.
Okay. First things first, Mojo. I'm gonna throw it over to you, but before I throw it over to you, I wanted to also ask you: do you think after this game it's advantage City based on the fixtures that we just seen and the game that we just seen? Who do you think has the advantage going out of this game?
I think this game. I think this game has changed nothing. Let's be honest. It really hasn't changed anything. And I was expecting Man City, I'll be honest, based on the first half, I was expecting Man City to actually win this game. The way they started the game, the way they dominated the game, the way they rattled Liverpool, in my opinion. I felt like Liverpool just weren't like themselves going into it. I remember Husam was even saying this. Liverpool were on good form. Liverpool, in my opinion, was supposed to actually show up. And in that first half, Liverpool did anything but show up. It's unfortunate because when you look at the final result at the end of the day, I think the team that will be left disappointed is Man City. Why? Because in my opinion, they had the opportunities to kill this game off in that first half, and they simply didn't. In the second half, I felt Liverpool grew into the game and played the game the way they were supposed to from the beginning of the game. They controlled the game a lot better. They understood and weren't allowing transitions to happen to them a lot like they did in the first half. All of those things, I think, pretty much contributed to Liverpool also having a high flying start in that second half, because how quickly that goal went in, I was shocked. I didn't even feel real. But
Pep almost looked shocked as well.
It just came out of nothing. Like literally, it was like one moment of just Kyle Walker switching off, and that for me is the difference in this game. It's for me, Henderson should have done a better job at saving that Jota shot. It wasn't the most craziest of shots. And then you look at that Mane did a fantastic job finishing it. But I'll be very honest, Kyle Walker, I don't know what the hell he was doing. He was just honestly dead.
You know what it is? As much of a cheat code as Kyle Walker is at the back, and he is, I don't care what people say.
He showed it tonight.
Kyle Walker is a cheat code, but it's the fact that he has these bozo moments where he just
that
loses
lapse of
concentration.
judgment,
he just loses concentration for a split second.
Yeah.
And we've seen it. It's not just today, but we've seen it throughout his career. He's always been a solid player, but he's had those moments which always make people doubt him. But carry on.
Yeah, I think also Liverpool can count themselves lucky in a manner of I do think there are certain refereeing decisions that really went in their favor. I felt like Thiago was very lucky to still be on that pitch. I don't care, Husam, if you disagree, but I'll be very honest. That's what I generally felt like. There was 3 moments in that game where he deserved yellow cards, and he only got 1 yellow card out of that game. Very lucky, in my opinion. But hey, he can count his blessings. As for Fabinho, I felt like the tackle that he had, the fact that he wasn't even checked on VAR was quite surprising, but it is what it is. He got his yellow card. Besides that,
should KDB would have been sent off, Mojo?
Say that again?
No, not for
should
that.
KDB have been sent off?
No, I wasn't sending off.
For what?
The high
for
boot.
him kicking Fabinho in the knee.
The high boot.
No, that was just a yellow, bro.
There was
but it was his second. You do realize it was second yellow and he was not given it.
Bro,
If it
there
was
was
second
only
yellow,
one
maybe he
person.
should have.
Ah,
If it
see
wasn't
the
second
plot
yellow.
twist now. See, if
I don't
KDB
think
got
it
a
was.
yellow
I
for
don't
that
think
and
it.
he got sent off,
I
it would have
don't
been the
think it.
same time that Thiago got
Hussam,
sent
why
off
are
with
you
5
so
minutes to go.
defensive? Hussam, why are you so
I don't
defensive?
think
The
it was
game
the
is
second
done.
Guys,
yellow.
wallahi, I'm smiling right now. I'm not
Just
defensive.
stop being
I'm cool.
defensive, bro. I'm just giving my opinion. Why are you jumping in,
Yo,
bro? The game
Mojo,
is
do you
done.
want the graphic? Because I could show you the Thiago foul. That was a.
You know what? I'm checking this. I'm pretty certain it wasn't De Bruyne's second yellow if he would have got it, by the way. But
Look at that. Like
Bro,
that's
he should not be on the pitch. It's simple as. Like, Thiago should have not
But
been
you know
anyway,
what? You know what
I
it
don't
is?
like this.
Do you
I
know
don't
what
like
it
this
is?
stuff.
This picture here, it tells the wrong story because if you actually look at the video of it, Kevin De Bruyne did commit a foul before a foul was committed on him.
Facts, he
So
did.
there's no way that
Yeah.
could have been a yellow.
I don't
for
like
Thiago.
none of this ref stuff. Let's move on. The game
That
is too
one,
good
the
to
ref,
put it-
listen,
Anyways.
the ref had a bad game for both teams. The man
It's always
looked
the
at a
Chelsea
ball.
fans that.
The man looked at a
Bro,
ball
look
hitting
at
the
this
play.
guy,
One
man.
second,
Grow
one
up.
second.
Just
One
grow
second.
up, bro.
The referee saw a ball
A
hit.
difference
You
of
should have been in the
opinion, bro.
title race with us, Mojo. What happened?
Grow
Reece
up,
James
grow
got
up,
injured
grow
and you're
up,
out.
De
grow
Bruyne,
grow.
it wasn't
Just
De
grow
Bruyne's
up.
second yellow.
The,
De
ref,
Bruyne got
the
no
referee,
yellow.
the referee saw a ball.
Mojo,
hit
Allah,
a
I love
City-
you.
The referee saw a ball hit a City player and go out, and he gave a goal kick when the ball was
Yeah, that
right
was
for
mad.
like.
That was
The ref
crazy.
was just
Yeah.
having a howler the whole game. It wasn't for any team or against any team. It was just a bad refereeing performance in my opinion.
Exactly.
I personally I disagree, but fair enough. If you lot that's what your opinion is, fair enough.
I just don't like
Okay.
doing the ref thing. I think that's.
Big-
It's a democracy, Mojo. Majority disagree, so you're wrong. And
Guys,
that's how it goes.
we can
All right, if that makes you feel better, man.
we can,
how it works,
we can
listen.
analyze this game all day and every day. But guys, last
Let's move
question
on.
I'm gonna ask. Personally, for me, I feel like Mojo's right. This game hasn't changed anything, but I would say the advantage is in City's hands based on the fixtures, right?
And the
Look
point
at
score.
Blake's
And
comment.
the
Look at
point
Blake's
score.
comment.
And the point score.
That's my
Bro,
opinion.
what do you mean he looks like a ref? I don't understand.
Oh, yeah. Anyone disagree? Anyone think the advantage is in City's hand?
Yeah, and
No,
of course,
The comments.
of course
The
it's a
comments
City
do.
fan.
AK, you're pushing people calling me a clown? Wow.
No. I'm saying, look at Blake's comment. He said,
Don't
"Alan
start
looks
this.
like a ref."
Right.
Blake.
What's the
I
next
thought
game,
someone-
people? Let's
Alan
move
looks
on.
like a ref.
What do I look like?
I don't-
Okay,
I
I don't
don't
know what
even-
that means.
Alan
Okay.
doesn't look like a ref. Alan looks like Jan Vertonghen.
Okay,
There we
Oh, for
go.
God's
Not-
sake.
It's not
Okay.
even close. Let's move on.
guys, let's move
I'll
on.
put Alan's picture next to Vertonghen right now. If he doesn't look 99% similar, I will delete everything right now.
Please smash a like, people.
I don't think it's 99%, but I've
Yes,
heard it.
smash a like and subscribe. Just like Ronaldo smashed his the kid's phone. Perfect segue. Go on, nigga.
I was gonna do that as well.
Let's go to the
Okay.
next game, man.
So let's get into the next game. We're going to talk about the United game, but first we're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo and this crazy incident that took place after full time. If you guys don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo walking by a fan slapped the phone out of the fan's hands. And
That's
I
my goat.
have 1 second.
I wasn't ready for that.
AK, let me just do this. I have 3 videos to play for you guys.
Proof that Ronaldo hit a fan's phone. Switched his shin pad to his left hand. Fan is confused because Ronaldo hit his phone. Another angle shows that Ronaldo hit the fan's hand.
Okay. A lot of you said in my last video it was a shin pad, but watch closely. As you can clearly see, Ronaldo whacked the phone out of the kid's hands. Look right there, that is clearly a phone.
So the evidence just shows you guys that it wasn't. People tried to say it wasn't him. He didn't slap his phone out of his hands. He just slapped his shin pads. The video's there. It's very visible. What do you guys think about the whole incident? Because for me,
That commentary was sensational, by the way.
There is no way they done a VAR check on this. I cannot believe what I'm
Mojo's obsession with Ronaldo and Messi is like this. Welcome to 2022.
anyways,
Let's take it. Go. Let's take it.
guys,
Go
we're
on,
gonna try to keep the segment short. Everyone, just give your take on the incident, and then
Please
we'll get
smash
into the
a
game
like.
afterwards. And also, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Come on, we're putting in a lot of work.
Also, subscribe now, please.
I'll save AK for last. Dab, since I was speaking to you earlier about this, what do you think is going to happen now? Do you think he's going to get punished? Because he did release something on his Instagram just to show you guys. Cristiano Ronaldo said it was never easy to deal with the emotions someone else can read this. I'm going to struggle.
It's never easy
It's
to deal
never
with
easy to
emotions
deal
in
with
difficult
emotions.
moments, such as the ones we are facing. Nevertheless, we always have to be respectful patient, and set the example for all the youngsters who love the beautiful game. I'd like to apologize for my outburst and, if possible, would like to invite this Everton supporter to watch a game at Old Trafford as a sign of fair play and sportsmanship. Interesting.
It's never safe to.
Wait a goddamn minute. Why can't he just say, "Let me pay for your new phone" and like move on, man? What's this? Invite him to Old Trafford. He supports Everton. They're in a relegation battle, bro. What is this?
That is the funniest bit. He invited an Everton fan to Old Trafford.
What the hell is going on, bro?
To be fair, they're both as bad as each other on the pitch. You wouldn't know the difference, would he? The supporter, let's be honest.
You know what? My take on it's really simple. That kid's gonna get probably shitloads of money and whatever, but he shouldn't do it. It's that simple, yeah. There's players like if that was, and people are saying, oh, but in the heat of the moment and all of that, I get it. My temper's rubbish, right? I get that. But if there's one player in world football, and it's known by the amount of social media he has, there's one player that should know the camera is on him 24/7. That's why he's paid so much fucking money, right? So you're not a conference player or you're not a championship player you have cameras on you 24/7, probably when you're sleeping. You can't do that, man. Just behave yourself. But I do get it shows he's passionate. But nah, man. Anyway, the kid will get paid money and we move.
Okay. So just so you guys know.
AK, you're gonna stay quiet on your goal?
Husam?
No, Egal said he's coming to me last, so I'm just waiting my time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Egal last. Husam, since you wanted to speak, talk about it. What are you saying?
I'll be real with you. It's a moment of anger, whatever. I don't care. I'm more interested in the game, to be honest. How the fuck did you allow Everton and Frank Lampard, the most useless manager on earth, to beat you? Egal, I cannot talk about the phone thing by itself because that phone thing is a result of them losing to a guy who I've never heard of before. His name is Gordon, I think, number 24. He has like this, like you could tell he's Scouse just by looking at his face because he has the Beatles haircut in it. So, like, amazing shot deflected by the guy who got booed. Oh my God! Breaking news, everyone! Let's all surround together. Hashtag I stand with Harry Maguire. Oh my God! Player gets booed. He deflects it into his own goal. I saw a gif of De Gea after the goal. He just went like this. De Gea has just had enough. De Gea has just had enough of the two dumber they have in front of him. And Ronaldo just had an outburst. So it is what it is. Make no mistake. Chelsea's title race ended in December. Tottenham shouldn't be in this position. Arsenal are bottling it. But the biggest disappointment in the whole universe is Manchester United. There is not a bigger disappointment. They were supposed to minimum have top 4 wrapped up. That's the one thing I'm not willing to hear. They were minimum supposed to have top 4 wrapped up. We finished second last season. We're going to finish second, and now you're giving Frank Lampard a win. You useless scumbags. The one game where I wanted United to win so we can relegate Fat Frank and that stinky team. Nah, let me go and give them 3 points. This is Manchester United. And next Wednesday, we're going to fuck them up at Anfield. So yeah, that's what I have to say on
so
that.
Listen, people, real quick,
that kid is probably gonna get more money than his whole life. Like he has made his whole life just from that moment. So you know,
I'm not going to comment on that because I might say something wrong. So I'm not going to.
There you go.
But you man, just quick. You just saw Alan. That alliance you think you've got, yeah, it's not that deep, bro. He stabbed you in the back straight away. Talking about
Alan,
your club.
You're next.
Okay, Daps. Okay, you can never break me and Alan. Yeah, nice try, though.
Yeah.
Ooh, pause.
Big up, Alan, for the 6 points. Big up, my guy.
Alan,
better than you did.
What are you saying about
You're welcome, Husam.
Situation? Just before we continue on to the game afterwards.
Okay, I'll do the incident isolation. Yeah, it's one of them things where you're meant to set an example, so you shouldn't react that way. Yes, what he done with the phone was wrong. He's going to obviously get fined for it. There's going to be a fallout from this. It's just going to be however the club deal with it and stuff like that. I don't think anything else is going to get involved. It will be how the club deal with it, and obviously whether there'll be something to do with the fan itself, like as a quiet thing. But I don't think it will go any further than that. It was wrong for him to do that, you know, because all it takes is for him to miss the phone completely and hit a kid rather than hit the phone. So yeah, that's where I think that he's drawn the line. That's gone across the line as well. But it's a scout. I'm not even know. I can't even finish that sentence. Like mocking the scousers, but nah. Yeah, he was wrong for doing it, and he should get punished for it. Right. So
there you go, Mojo.
Really
you have anything to say on this, Mojo?
I'll be honest. I couldn't care less. I generally just don't offer him tickets to Old Trafford. That makes no damn sense to me. Give the guy a new phone. Simple as. That's literally the only thing I've got to say. Other than that, I don't care, man.
Okay.
The arrogance. Come and watch us.
Finally, AK, what do you have to say?
First of all, I completely agree with Mojo. You've already broke the kid's phone. Why are you trying to torture him more by making him sit next to Ferguson at Old Trafford and watch a game? It makes absolutely no sense. That is adding insult to injury, if you ask me. But no, I was gonna, you know what it is? Yeah, I was gonna be so shameless and sit here and say he can hold that, but I can't do that, Charles. I can't do that. Listen, Ronaldo was wrong. He was wrong for what he did. And I'm going to keep the same energy because I'll be real. When Marcus Rashford reacted to fans saying something to him, I was the first one to condemn him and say, as someone in a position of influence, you're supposed to keep your cool. So it doesn't change for Cristiano Ronaldo, especially if you are Cristiano Ronaldo. You're one of the biggest things in sport, full stop, not just football. If you can't control your emotions in that moment, especially against a child, I mean, brother, come on, you've got kids of your own, man. Use your head for a second. All it takes is a moment of just.
Are you saying to headbutt him?
No, what I said.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
Listen, in that moment, you just need to think. And Ronaldo didn't think, and he'll definitely suffer the consequences. He'll probably get.
He's got a lot of money.
I don't think. Listen, people are misunderstanding this. I don't think the club will do shit about it. First of all, so that narrative needs to end. The club do not give a fuck what Ronaldo does.
They got bigger problems.
I don't think the Premier League will do anything about it because it's Cristiano Ronaldo. The only thing that will happen is, I don't know if you've already seen, but the kid's mum has already released a thingy on the front page of the newspaper. My child was battered in.
Wait, you mean to tell me we're not going to give a 10-year ban to flipping Ronaldo from the game?
Imagine if that was Xhaka, what they would do to him, bro. Imagine he got a 15-match ban instantly. But no,
banned from football.
This will result in money being paid.
Travesty, man.
This will result. Listen, one sec. This will result in money being paid. Money that, when Ronaldo looks in his bank balance, will not make a difference to him, but it will make a difference. No, let's be real. It won't make a difference to him at all, but it will make a difference in the life of this kid for sure, because it will be more money than.
What are we saying? AK, 50 grand?
Way more than that. I'm saying 6 figures minimum, because there's.
I don't think that much.
Hassan, have you seen the pictures, Husam? The kid's got a bruise, man. So that takes it up to 6 figures for me straight away. But no, apart from that,
the kid has a bruise.
Yeah, have you not seen it? He's got a little bruise on his hand from.
He can live his whole life basically on the Ronaldo money.
No. If it's from that, that's a lie, bro. The person sat next to him punched him up, and that's where the bruise is from. He wanted that extra money. I don't know if I can say no way from what we saw. I
don't know if I can say this on YouTube. One second.
Nah, AK, I saw it as well. You're right. I saw it.
I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but you know me, and I'm not PR trained on YouTube, so I'm still gonna say it. If that was me and Ronaldo smacked the phone out of my hand, I'm throwing myself over that barricade head first and saying he pulled me as well. I'm going to make sure I land head first. And then once I get home,
Saeed would get in trouble.
When I get home, I'm going to get my brother to punch me up and say it was from Ronaldo as well. I'm securing the bag, bro. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't care.
Fact. He's not lying. That's a fact right there.
That is a life. That's generational wealth right there, bro. And
I thought you were going to say jump over and punch him up.
AK can live his whole life based on him just acting for 30 seconds. Let's go.
I am jumping over that fence.
Clever enough to do that.
I'm pretending. I'm gonna come in. Once again, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna say emotional distress. I'm gonna say I got bullied on Twitter after it happened. I'm gonna pull up every single thing that I've seen on every single. Every single word that they've used, every single legal word they've used in suits, I'm gonna pull it all up and I'm gonna make sure I get paid heavy, bro. That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna get 6 figures though, so it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
No, but listen, all jokes aside, Ronaldo was wrong for what he did. Of course, I don't think anyone can condemn what he did. Was he could you say he was angry enough to do it? I don't care how angry you are or what moment that you're caught in. As a footballer of that level, you should not be reacting like that, especially to a child, to any fan whatsoever.
Even
so
to
Ronaldo,
to Lampard's
Ronaldo can hold that. But I want to speak about the game, Egal. So can I transition
just before you speak about the game? As a United fan, as you are a United fan, and all United fans, I feel sorry for you guys and all the stuff that you've been going through. It must be causing you a lot of
emotional damage.
I'm just gonna say
that was the worst time. Let's continue. Yeah, listen about the game. Wallahi, the thing is,
say how it is, bro.
People think at this point, people think I'm just. I'm trying to be silent on purpose, but I actually don't have any words. Like, what can I possibly sit here and say about this team that I haven't said in the past 7, 8, 9, 10 shows? It is reached a point where it's no longer a shock when Manchester United lose. Like when United score, when United score, I'm thinking they're going to concede. When they concede, I'm thinking they're going to concede a second one. There's no light at the end of the tunnel at the moment, especially this season. Like let's keep it real for a second. Our aspirations, our hopes were top 4. Our aspirations, our hopes were for titles at the beginning of the season. Me being one of them that was saying we should win something, because let's be real, from the squad that we had, no one can tell me that I should not be expecting some sort of silverware. And I don't care what anyone ever says. People can always pull me up on what I said at the beginning of the season, but I will stick by it, because in the context of that moment, that squad looked good enough to go and compete with anyone. Of course they weren't, and we found out very quickly that they weren't. So I'll sit here and I'll hold that, but there is no excuse for what they're doing at the moment. Top 4 should have been at least a minimum. I've said this the whole season. The worst this team can do is top 4, and they can't. And at the moment, in my opinion, that loss against Everton is and you lot might think I'm joking. I swear to God, I've been fasting for the last week on everything I love. That Everton score was the best thing that's happened to us over the last 7 days, because right now we need to make sure we don't get 7th place, bro. That is the objective. And no, let me land here.
You know what happens in 7th place?
When I say 7th place, I'm not saying let's get 6th or 5th. I'm saying we need to get 8th or below at the moment. That is the objective for the rest of the season. So
these people want to be the new Arsenal.
Listen, I know.
Tell the people what happens when you finish 7th.
Sam, 1 second, brother, please. I know this is a one-off season for Man United, so I'm happy to take the consequences of this one-off season and hold that Ellen, sit in 8th, sit in 9th, wherever it is, and have no European football to worry about next season and build back up, because this squad cannot deal with more than one game a week, especially as they are at the moment, if they want to fight for top 4 or if they want to learn a new style of football under a new manager. So I say we get out of Europe and we steady ourselves one game a week. That doesn't mean I'm going to be going into the season shouting we're competing because we're playing one game a week. No. What it means is one game a week allows us to get to where we want to be. It allows us to have enough practice. It allows us for these players to get used to what they're doing and for us to get where we want to be. That is all I can say about United. From now until the end of the season, go on, Dabs.
No, but you didn't answer my question, AK.
What's your question?
What happens when you finish 7th? I want to let people know.
Man. Go on, Dabs.
No, but what do you avoid? Some people don't know, AK.
Then they can pull up Google and search where you get when you finish 7th place. Go on, Dabs.
Guys,
sorry, I'm not trying to cook you, but there's one bit.
Conference League.
Welcome to the Sam show again.
Conference League.
Yeah, go ahead, Dabs.
There's one bit that confused me when you said this is a one-off season.
Yes, brother.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I mean in the sense of I don't see United staying out the top 4 for more than a season. Like I think this season has just gone.
Got you.
I think this season has just gone horribly wrong for us, and
then you'll be back. Cool.
Yeah, we've messed it up. I think going into next season, we should be okay to compete for top 4 again. Yeah. And again, let me make this very, very clear. It doesn't matter which managers announced at Manchester United. It doesn't matter what players are signed at Manchester United. It doesn't matter. You could go sign Lionel Messi, Robin van Persie, bring him back in his prime and get Maldini at the back. This team will not compete for the next 2 seasons, in my opinion. And when I say compete, I mean with the Cities and the Liverpools. So let's United fans, that what we need to do is we need to curb our expectations, because as long as our expectations are doing crazy things and we're saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to be left disappointed every single time. So I think we just need to set our expectations accordingly. And our expectations for next season is to get top 4 and kind of get back in the groove of playing European football again. That's all it is.
I'm not going to lie to you, AK.
Conference League Verane.
The chat have me hearing the song. Can you guys hear it? I can definitely hear it. Conference League, but anyways, I'm not gonna lie. Let's get.
Well, you know what? This is right now, Egal. You are. You know
His
that
time
term
is
about
coming, Daps, don't worry.
don't throw stones when you live in glass
Can I
houses.
glass
and
it?
stuff.
Don't-
You are.
That-
touching
That,
on
before,
let him.
I just want to say one thing. What AK said from a footballing perspective is absolutely spot on. Because, in my opinion, if they finish 5th, 6th, or 7th, because I'm including Europa in that as well, if they finish 5th, 6th, or 7th, that will stop their progress. I promise you. Because every single one of us here has been involved in Europa League football. Every single one of us. And Europa League football will ruin your league form. 100%. There is no doubt about it whatsoever.
Thursday, Sundays is the worst rota.
It has 100% ruined our league form, your league form, everyone's league form. We've been there, we've done that. So the thing is for me now, will United players just throw in the towel and literally just like on purpose lose like these
They
rest
don't
of
have
the
a
games?
choice. They're trying.
No, but
they're trying and they're losing to Everton.
Can they lose the games on purpose though? Is that an actual possibility?
Husam,
Lose the games on purpose.
This is what you don't understand though, Husam. They don't need to lose anything on purpose. They just need to play how they play. That's it. They will lose. They just need to play how.
I can't lie. You're not lying. I can't lie.
They just need to play how they play. They will lose. It's not like they need to go out there and throw
A
games on
9th
purpose.
place finish is better for them than 7th.
Can we go back and give some people flowers, because there are some people who predicted the scoreline to it.
Also, Fabian Delph, give him some flowers.
This is
man.
no. I actually
want
to see United just making harder than what it needs to be, similar to when they had Watford at home and they couldn't score a goal. They couldn't even score an open goal. I don't see them. I don't know. I'm hoping for my entertainment. I'm hoping that Everton pull it off, just purely because United have zero consistency.
You know what, Egal, look at my score.
I will tell you your score. You went with Everton 1-0.
Yeah, because what Khalid says there, right? All season, if we're being real, if Man United do what they're supposed to do, they're in a title race. If they do what they're supposed to do, and it's like gone on too long this season where we're waiting for them to kick in, and it's like it's April now, and we're still thinking, it's the Ronaldo, the Sanchez, the Varane thing's going to kick in, and it's like we need to realize they're really shit. Like I don't mean. I finished that. Hold on. No, not their shit. They're really, really shit.
No, it sucks. Like, you know what it is as well. At this point, I don't even take it like as someone trying to troll when they say that. It has become it's legitimately a fact. Yeah, it's legitimately a fact. Like Manchester United as a footballing team on the pitch, they are horrendous. Like they are way below average. One second, Egal. Now, the only thing is for me, are they good? I don't even want to say this because it's so.
They beat you twice this
actually,
season.
No, I'm not even going to say it. Don't worry. Carry on, Egal.
Everton beat you twice this season.
Yeah, no. We drew once. We drew the first.
Was it draw? But
yeah, it was
the other thing I was.
No, but Townsend did the two at Old Trafford. That was embarrassing.
That's L. Yeah.
The other thing, the reason why I want to say it's not me trolling when I said that is because it is something that since United's form, and I don't mean this season, last season, I mean since Fergie's left, I think genuinely most of us have always said, no, they'll bounce back. And it's getting to a point that this is what I mean, that we need to forget that. The Man United under Fergie doing all of that is so far away that we need to realise Man United are in a really fucking bad place. Like so far away from that. And that's what I mean. It's not me trolling. It's me saying, let's forget that they're going to bounce back. The bounce back's not happening. It's a rebuild now. Can I just jump in, Ed?
It's a rebuild.
I've said this before in United Spaces, and United fans don't like it when I say this.
You go on United Spaces,
Sam Uskut, please, man. Why do you love to stop speaking when I want to speak?
I'm not worth you losing Hasanat. Wallahi, I'm not worth.
When I'm trying to speak,
let him speak.
I love your red hoodie, wallahi. The drip is fantastic.
It was for Liverpool, man. Don't worry. But you lot didn't win today. I was gonna. Anyways. You made me lose my train of thought, man. This is why I mean.
You were saying when you went to the United Spaces, they didn't like what you said.
Sam, please, man. I go on.
I'm telling you your train of thought. You forgot it.
This is actually jarring, man.
Okay. Just go ahead, bro.
So, to go bounce off of what Dap said, when I go on United Spaces regularly and I tell them this same sentence, Daps, and it's the fact that the biggest thing that hurts this football club is its history. It's the fact that we feel we're entitled to something that we're not entitled to. This class of 92 that brought us so much joy growing up has been our biggest demise in the last 9 years. Ferguson, and I've said this before, and I don't care if people don't like it. I love Ferguson more than a lot of people on this planet that I've never, that are close to me even, because that man there has brought me so much happiness in life. But it's the fact that it's reached a point where I'm starting to think it's a sabotage on purpose to save his legacy at the football club or something. Like every good decision that we were supposed to make, you will always hear in the media, oh, but Ferguson is fighting against it, or Ferguson wants this, or it's become a problem. It's become a problem, which is why I said if this club wants to proceed in the right direction, it needs to cut off ties with anybody who's ever played for this football club. It needs to cut off ties with anybody who's ever managed at this football club. It needs to cut ties with anyone who's ever done anything related to Manchester United, because our best way of moving forward is by forgetting the past. As long as we stick to that past steps, is exactly what you said. People keep saying United will. Why will United? Can anyone tell me why United will bounce back? Like, what gives United that privilege of thinking they can bounce back just because they're Manchester United? We've been cutting corners for the last 8 years, trying to make our rebuilds faster by bringing in the best players around the world. Di Maria, man of the match at the Champions League final, come to Manchester United. Paul Pogba, come to Manchester United. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, come to Man United. Nemanja Matic at Chelsea, he was after winning a league title, or the season after winning a league title, come to Manchester United. Like, we do our absolute best to try and bring in the so-called best players, or the best players in the league or around the world, to try and skip this rebuild stage and think we can make it go quicker. But it's not happening. So it's about time we realize what we're doing is not working and what we're doing is wrong, and we need to do an actual rebuild. Does that mean taking 2 years out of Europe? Let it be. Does that mean not winning anything for another 3 years? I'd rather not win anything for 3 years and then have a chance of starting to win something, instead of carrying on the way I am and not being able to win something every single year, bro. Because it's become a bit. It's become a piss take, and a big part of it is the fans, and that's what people need to understand. The biggest part of the problem at Manchester United is the fans. We have a bunch of overplayed players who are useless, unsuccessful, and that word is very, very important, because if a player is successful at your club, you can afford him a certain level of privilege. But these are unsuccessful players who earn a shit ton of money, who do absolutely nothing at the football club. They've been hyped up to the point where they think they're better than they actually are, which gives them this bravado, gives them this attitude that they can strut around like, oh, we're Manchester United players. Being a Man United player means nothing anymore, bro. Like what does being a United player mean to around the world anymore? And it's because man like Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, McTominay, whoever else you want to point out, you can even add Paul Pogba into that list. Whoever, like, no player is safe anymore. Whoever you want to add to that list, they have ruined what this football club stands for, along with the owners, along with the system that has been set out, along with the managers. Everyone shares the blame. And until we understand that this club will not move forward, until we forget about the past, we will be stuck in this little realm where we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth every single week.
Okay, just before we move on, Alan and Mojo, can you guys maybe discuss the Everton side of things? Because we did speak heavily about Lampard getting sacked, and he did get a result. So if you guys could touch on,
he only got the result. He only got it. Yeah, he only got a result because Man United are awful. Let's be honest. And Man United only have themselves to blame. Like, pretty much touching on what Daps and App said, it's rotten from the top down. For Man United, it has been since Ferguson's left. Always appointing the wrong people, bringing in the wrong people. And then for me this season, Ollie, and then going to get Ragnick, you just two poor managers who can't manage with their systems, with the team that's there. They've only got themselves to blame. And then it basically, if Ten Hag is the manager next season, I don't know if it's been guaranteed yet, but if or been signed, if he is the manager, will he get a chance to do a rebuild? Because there's a lot of problems there at Man United that needs to be sorted. I don't know if he'll get a chance to do a rebuild. It will take about 2 or 3 seasons to get Man United back to where they are, or where they want to be. And because the Glazers are awful owners, and because they haven't had to do something like this, they've been chucking money at it with different managers and different top signings. I don't know if they're ready for a rebuild and if they will be patient enough to let him do what he wants to do. So it might just be, this is Man United's level as is Arsenal's level now.
And I'm just going to focus totally on Everton here. And I'm just going to say, well done to Keane, not actually costing and he's team of the game. That's massive. I think it helps when Everton players are actually playing as a unit and not playing against themselves, and that's a massive thing that we got to say here. But the second thing for me is the Great Escape is actually on, guys. You know what? As much as this team is a dead Everton team that I don't think are actually that great to watch whatsoever and have a lot of deficiencies in their team, if they can play the way they did against Man United, where they play as a unit and they try and make it difficult for teams to get results against them and they fight till the end, guess what? Things can start to fall in their favor. The fact that Burnley lost this weekend as well is a massive, massive thing for them. Like, if they had won that game against Burnley during the week as well, they would be laughing right now because now they would be 7 points ahead of them. But it's 4 points now. It's still a little bit of room to breathe. They've still got the tough fixtures ahead of them. They just need to flip and not be their own worst enemy. And Lampard, the Great Escape is on, man. From now on, every game that Lampard is in, guys, remind me, I am predicting a win even if I don't believe it. I don't care. I'm going to do what Husam does.
Will you predict a win against Liverpool away at Anfield?
Yes, 100%. I will.
Okay, I'm just gonna be fast with this one. This is my whole input for the Arsenal game. Yo, I could banter Manchester United, but you know what? I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna wait until after Arsenal win, and I'm gonna come get you guys after that. For now, I'm not trying to jinx my team. I'm not trying to jinx Arsenal. Arsenal versus Brighton is what I'm worried about. So yeah, you guys talk.
How did that go?
No, Egal.
You were clever. You were clever, buddy. You were clever.
You're not getting away with that. Speak, Egal. You are not getting away with that.
No, you know what?
Cheap
Actually,
pass.
you could play.
Nah, do what
I
Egal
said.
does to the rest of us. Let
Hold
Egal
on,
be at the end.
You could play, because I need to go in a minute, but could you just play the other video I sent you?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to just, have you got it? This game this weekend, yeah, you man need to bounce back for momentum's sake, yeah? You need to just get that momentum back. All right, bad performance against Palace, just showed that it was one off. Get a result against Villa, boom, carry on. If you get that back, you can keep going again. If you don't, that could start getting peak. Carry on.
Aiden thinks it's funny.
Right, so to go off of that, I'm concerned for you lot, yeah, because it shows. I don't think I actually did a stream. In fact, I did with Northside London. I did one stream where I said this. I said, the difference is, because Arsenal are getting these results together, some Arsenal fans are getting carried away and they're saying we're 1 or 2 players away from challenging the upper echelons of the league, right?
On all fronts, by the way.
And I said, this is where they're wrong. They're talking about their absolute best 11 against an absolute best 11. They think they're 1 or 2 players away. The issue is the upper tier of the Premier League, like the top 1, 2, 3, to be fair, it's not about the best 11. The squad, Liverpool, you've seen it with Liverpool. Liverpool have strengthened their squad so much. And I said, this is the issue with Arsenal. They're 1 or 2 injuries away from a complete collapse. And that's what's happened to you. And now you've got a battle without Tierney, without Partey, who was clinical to you lot. And it's just, you didn't get the bounce back. You needed that bounce back. You haven't got the bounce back. It's long. It's long. I fear for you lot. I fear for you lot massively. And I don't want that to Arteta, because I like Arteta, but...
You know what it is, yeah? For the people that wonder, and I just have to say this, for the people that wonder, why do Arsenal get cooked so much when they lose? And United lose week in, week out, and no one said... Because I actually got a DM after the last show, and it was like, oh, when United lose, no one gives any energy to AK or blah, blah, blah. But when Arsenal lose, all of you don't seem to give all the energy to Egal. Now, let me explain this very simply. It's because of what Egal says. Like, you guys need to open your ears and listen a little bit. Arsenal fans, including you, Egal, you're not safe from this one, say the most nonsensical stuff and try to make it sound logical. And when they get caught out, they hide behind the fact that they had 5 good performances or 7 good performances. Arsenal Football Club, and I've said this for the longest, Husam, you're my witness to this. I've always said my favorite word when it comes to Arsenal, the inevitable. Because that's what it is with Arsenal. It's the inevitable. Arteta is the first manager that I have ever seen that needs a fully fit 11, all at their peak, to be able to go out there and get results. One little thing goes wrong, and he can't get a result anymore. So it seems like it's a little bit off to me. I'll be real with you, and I've been saying this for the longest. Arsenal were one injury away, which was a midfielder, whether it was Partey or Xhaka. They were one injury away from the season going up in the air. But again, unfortunately, because we don't wish injuries on people, unfortunately, Tierney picked up his annual injury as well, and Partey picked up his injury. Now, for the length that they are out, what do you expect from Arsenal? Because I'll be real, I know I predict Arsenal to lose every single week, but from now until they come back, I'm legit predicting Arsenal to lose, because Arsenal, I think, will lose those games or draw those games. I don't see Arsenal picking 3 points. That's how crucial those two players are to that system that Arteta has in place. We were wondering when there's no striker thing was going to catch up to them. It's catching up to them pretty quickly, because how long can you rely on these young boys? They were always going to be inconsistent. You can't expect them to score goals every single game. It's not how it works. They were going to become inconsistent at one point. And unfortunately for Arsenal, it's happened now. So all that yippee yapper, it seems like Tottenham's going to get top 4, which I've said this before as well. And if they do, now one sec, because I'm being serious. If they do get top 4, Antonio Conte has done a phenomenal job to turn it around. Like, we need to look at him, but we'll speak about that when we get to Tottenham. Arsenal are bottling it, as they always do. Am I any better? Am I the guy to be talking shit to Arsenal? No. But just listen to this for a second. Manchester United and Tottenham have had probably one of their worst seasons in a long time. If in memory, like, when was the last time Tottenham had a season this bad? We'd have to look back for 3-4 years, Alan.
To be fair, under Jose, we finished 7th, but Arsenal finished 8th. So before that, it was before Poch.
Again, so to find Tottenham as inconsistent as this, you'd have to go back a while. To find United have a season this bad, you'd have to go back 4 years, 5 years maybe. So it's United and Tottenham at their very worst, and Arsenal have legitimately played their best football in the last 5 years in this season. They've been at their absolute best, and they still haven't been able to get the job done. And it just shows you the quality in this Arsenal team is not what people think it is. It's as simple as that. They're playing at their very best with these two teams playing at their worst, and they are still unable to get one over them. So what happens when Tottenham and United hit form? If, and let me say if very lightly, what happens if United and Tottenham somehow manage to hit top form for next season? Where do Arsenal sit then? Because if Tottenham and Arsenal are playing football, I don't look at this Arsenal. If Tottenham and United are playing football, I'm not going to look at this Arsenal team as any sort of a threat, because if they couldn't get over them when they were at their worst, how the hell can I expect them to get over them when they're actually playing properly? So again, people overlook this stuff when Arsenal's performing well. Okay, well done. You've had a good run of games. But now that they're not performing well, can we actually speak about what we've been seeing? Because
just to be clear, none of that. Let's be clear, guys. None of that is digs. That is people just talking honestly. No.
I'm not even taking anything as an offense. What he's saying, yeah, I hear him. But right now, I just want to make it clear. From the jump, when I was saying stuff about a couple of weeks ago about top 4, understand that was me making the assumption that we wouldn't get these kind of stuff.
I don't want to hear it.
No, I get that. I don't want to hear it, man.
That's football, man. That's football.
No. I am not making excuses.
You either back your team to get top 4, you don't, bro. Like, you can't say I back my team until they get injuries.
I still back my team. I still back my team to get top 4. But I just don't have the level of confidence that I did before we lost back-to-back games. That is,
you were consistent. Let's be fair. Arsenal were being consistent. I've been on Spaces, so I'm guilty. I've been saying, you know what, they're showing a consistency. Based on the consistency, like, they should get top 4 and Tottenham haven't. But yeah,
it's not about that. It's the fact that you look at the tone daps. All of a sudden, it's I backed Arsenal I backed Arsenal to get top 4 when we had everyone fit. I get it. You backed Arsenal to have top 4. It's either you back your team to get top 4 or you don't. You can't say I back my team. It's like me coming out and saying,
you don't back United anymore. So what are you talking about?
It's not about backing Egal. Listen to the words coming out my mouth. What you are saying makes no sense.
Okay, so you want me to pull up videos from your first video where you said United are getting top 4, Tottenham are in.
And I said that, yes, and I own it. So own it. That's what I'm telling you to do. Bro, don't all of a sudden tell me, I said that. I meant that. No, Egal. Listen, Egal.
Yo, Alan, stop smiling.
Egal, listen to me. Egal, you're not listening.
People, hit the like button. AK is going to continue to speak. Go ahead.
Egal, you're not listening.
I'm gonna duck out and leave you to it. I'll catch you next week.
Pick up yourself.
Take it out.
Egal, what I'm
Top of
saying,
the league.
what you've said, you know what I'm saying? Keep your chest out and don't change your tone all of a sudden and say, it's because Egal, let me finish. It's because if we get injuries or I didn't say if we get injuries we'll get top 4. No, none of that matters. I said my team was going to get top 4. My team was shit. They're not getting top 4, and I can now sit here and say my team's not getting top 4, and it's the end of the story. If you guys want to cook me for what if you want to cook me for what I said earlier, one thing. If you want to cook me for things that I've said in past shows, absolutely, I can't fight it because things that I said. But don't backtrack now, Egal, is what I'm trying to tell you.
No. First things first. Going into that Crystal Palace game, fully believed top 4, we're getting it, no question about it, nothing stopping us. Right? We lose against Crystal Palace. I still believe we're going to get top 4. I'm saying nothing's stopping us.
And then 2 injuries stopped you.
Let's see how we do against Brighton. Losing to Brighton today, and Spurs winning the way that they've won and having a 9 or 10 goal difference. Now it's advantage Spurs. We are no longer in the driving seat. We no longer control our own destiny as we used to. That is the issue at hand.
Sorry, Egal, can you put up Sohan's comment? Because that's very interesting. Sohan,
you're not even listening to what I'm saying.
I am listening to what you're saying, but I'm disregarding it because you're waffling. I'll be real.
Bro,
you're just waffling.
No. This is the definition of what people do in life.
You just said, Egal, you just contradicted yourself from your own mouth. You know that. You said after the Palace game, I backed my team to win to get top 4, no matter what. And then 2 sentences later, you went on to talk about how 2 injuries could stop you from getting top 4. So it was never no matter what in the first place.
No,
it was because
you
depended on your full team.
Guys, this is the example. AK, brother, you're not listening to what I said. I said I back my team fully, but now the advantage that we had is no longer there. So things changed. Okay. I am not saying I'm not backing my team. I'm not saying I still don't back my team to get top 4. I still back my team to get it. But the reality is we are no longer in the driving seat. And since we are going to now talk about Tottenham regardless, we're going to add both segments together. Let's talk about Tottenham.
Before we go to Tottenham,
No.
We're not done. I have 2 things I need you to pull up.
How dare you? How dare you go to Tottenham when I haven't even spoken about us?
Absolutely.
We're not going to go to
Tottenham. Mojo hasn't spoken.
We're not going to go to Tottenham, but we're going to just combine both segments.
There's nothing to talk about when it comes to Tottenham. They won 4 minutes.
I want you to pull up.
There is.
1 sec.
Gerrard lost again.
Please, Egal, I want you to.
Gerrard is in the top 10. Your guy is battling relegation.
Husam, 1 second, Egal. I want you to pull up that list that you had of Arsenal's fixtures and Tottenham's fixtures in green and red and all that bullshit color coordination shit you had going. Can I get that on the screen? Because I just want to show you something real quick.
I'll show it to you.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you 2 questions. So the first 2 games, Palace and Brighton, you had written down as 3 points, right?
Yeah.
6 points in total.
3 points each. Let's turn that to 0. Okay. Now, if we take away 6 points from 74, what does that leave you with?
68.
68. Lovely stuff. Now, out of the other games, the Southampton, Chelsea, United, and Spurs, are there any scores you'd like to change, Egal?
Hopefully, we can get 3 points for Southampton.
Lovely stuff. So
brings us up to 71.
Add 3 points, 71. Now, let's have a look at Tottenham. Do you see any of their fixtures changing in terms of results?
I'm hopeful that Brighton might change because Brighton gave us a good game, and they've already beaten Newcastle and Aston Villa.
Yeah, he's reaching. He's reaching.
Emotional damage.
Egal, I actually love you, but wallahi, this is not a good look. That's what I'm saying. It's not a good look.
Egal, you know what it says? Last week...
You're literally repeating what I've said.
No, but last week I was trying to tell you this, and you didn't want to listen. Well,
Husam, can you remind him of the 3 hits as well, Husam, please? When you get
thank you. And this is my point. I let you and AK speak because AK is spitting facts. I kept telling you on the show that Colleen came on as well. When Colleen spoke, you're like, oh, facts, even though you're saying something completely opposite. You keep saying, margin of error. We have a margin of error. We can lose this many games and still get top 4. We can do this and still get top 4. Blah, 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 blah. So at the end of the day, you're losing the games and you're not in the top 4 right now. And that leads to the point which I told you on the earlier show last week. I said there is no such thing as you have a margin for error and blah, 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 because this is the Premier League. So there's no such thing as guaranteed 3 points. And my point was proven because you lost to Palace and you lost to Brighton. So there is no such thing as a guaranteed 3 points. You don't have a margin for error anymore. You basically have to be flawless from now to the end of the season. So that's just the matter of fact now. So, yeah.
There you go. And just so Alan, just when you go, if you could also talk about the Spurs side of things, and Mojo, same thing. Just speak about both sides, because clearly AK and Husam only want to speak about one side of the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
You want us to speak about Brighton?
Alan, you go for it.
Mo, do you want to go? No, you go. You
I
go
want
first.
you to speak
I'll
about
save me
Spurs
for later.
also.
I'll be
Okay.
honest. I've spent the weekend speaking to Arsenal fans, and it's very clear that there's a level of arrogance that came with the confidence that you had. There was a lot of doubting about the teams that you were going to face, to the point that you forgot you're even in the Premier League. I understand Arsenal were on good form. I understand Arsenal have been beating the smaller teams, which is an improvement based on last season. What I don't understand with Arsenal fans, there are some calculated risks that you try to take in January by not signing certain players and getting rid of Deadwood that weren't actually going to be first team players, like you guys have been saying, which is brilliant. But what has now happened is that the injuries that have happened have impacted the way your team actually performs on that pitch. And as a result, now you're not getting the results that you were supposed to get. Example being Palace and Brighton. Now, I've said to Arsenal fans plenty of times, before you speak, think about what you're saying and what it actually implies. And right now, you have played 37 games in all competitions. And in that 37 games, all I have seen is the fact that Arsenal Football Club can maybe handle being in the top 4 race if they are actually only playing for one competition only, and that's one competition. Next season, with European football, you're going to struggle. Even if you sign new players, they're going to have to be embedded. They're going to have to try and get with the program, and no one knows how they are actually going to succeed with the current bunch of players that you have. The biggest thing from this is every single time we've spoken on this show, we have all said the same thing. It's in Arsenal's hands as long as Arsenal don't bottle it. The fact of the matter is, the reason why we kept on all saying that is because we all knew the opportunity for Arsenal to bottle it would always be there. Guess what? You bottled it a lot sooner than you maybe expected. And that's the sad part for you lot. I am impressed with what Spurs have done. Why? Because when they looked like they were out, and people wrote them off when they lost 1-0 to Burnley. That's how long ago? 45 days ago, I believe this was.
See you guys, man. See you guys. I'm hopping off.
Take care yourself. Take care of yourself. 45 days ago, Spurs were ruled out, and everyone was saying this top 4 Arsenal have done and dusted it. Guess what? We are now looking at it, 31 games in for Spurs, 30 games in for you lot, and the tables have turned to the point that we're now talking about advantage Spurs. That's what the Premier League is like. You guys need to respect the teams that you face, whether they're small or big. You guys need to understand circumstances can definitely affect the performances of your team and the ability to get 3 points. The fact that you didn't, and the fact that there was a level of arrogance to the point that you lot were saying things like what AK said about 2 to 3 signings, and you're at the upper echelon of focusing on now being in title contention and fighting on all fronts. Guys, this is what we are talking about. This is why you guys get cooked. You guys get way too excited.
Mojo.
And this is what's happening. It's a humbling. That's all it is.
Can I just show you guys one more thing? I always do
this.
Go for it. Just bring up little things that I see on social media. I actually made this, if you don't know. I made this image and I put it in a group chat, and people were sending it around on Twitter. This is Arsenal's expected goals versus Brighton, and they beat us 2-1. We actually we were not clinical at all. Where Tottenham's expected goal.
Can you pull up Brighton's tweet after that?
1 second. No, we're not doing that right now.
He's hiding.
No, carry on. I want you to finish this point. I have an response.
Tottenham's expected goal was 0.8. They ended up scoring 4 goals. Son's expected goal was 0.56. He scored a hat trick. It just goes to show you how clinical of players they have at Tottenham right now, and how these guys only need half chances. And that is the biggest difference maker, in my opinion, when it comes to Arsenal.
But we've had them players all season.
No, the reason why the difference maker for Spurs is right.
Alan, say that again, Alan.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah,
we've had them players all season.
Yeah, and they were just maybe underperforming and they weren't being consistent. But now what you're starting to see is a little bit of consistency and a little bit of fight, and a manager that is actually setting them up to win. They don't have to dominate games to win games. They are literally creating chances and they are putting them away. If Man City had the finishes that Spurs had today, the finishes that Spurs have today that we speak of, right? Man City would have beaten Liverpool today. That's the difference. Spurs can finish chances despite not dominating a game, despite not necessarily deserving to get the result. And at the end of the day, what games are won by is just goals. And the fact of the matter is Spurs are doing their job. What we have to understand is with Arsenal, there's a lot of reliance on your first 11. There's a lot of pressure that when the pressure gets there, guess what, guys? They can crumble. And these are young players. This is a young manager, and this could all have happened. But instead of acknowledging,
they're not players that we expect to not crumble as well. They're young. They're supposed to.
Exactly. They're supposed to. I don't blame the players.
Yeah.
I don't blame the players. What I'm blaming here is the overconfidence by Arsenal fans to the point that they weren't willing to acknowledge that things are not done until the 38 games are actually played and out of the way. But instead, maybe five games back, we were already writing the season off for Arsenal, saying they are top 4. Man United, Spurs, West Ham, every other team, all cancelled. To the point that you guys were talking to me about 1 week ago, we're 2 points behind Chelsea to now you're 8 points behind us. Just that quick, within the space of 1 week, 2 games, that's what's happened.
Do you know what it is as well? We're forgetting the most important factor in all of this whole Tottenham thing, bro. Antonio Conte, like, you can say whatever you want about the man. If he gets things his way in terms of gets players that can play the kind of football that he wants to play, he can make them effective. We've seen him do it over and over again. We've seen him do it in Italy. We've seen him do it with Chelsea in the Prem. And we're seeing it again with Tottenham now. I want to give a special shout out to Kulusevski because he was so disrespected. Even, I'll put my hand up.
He was so disrespected.
I was one of the ones who disrespected him. I said he was voted Juventus's worst player of 2021, but he's coming to the Premier League and Antonio Conte has him doing incredible stuff. He's so far from January been up there as one of the players of the season since he's come in. He's been that good since he's come in. And that's what Conte does though. And that's what we need to start realizing. Antonio Conte will do this. You give Conte an easy run of games, 1 game a week, and watch him cook. And that's what's happened now. He's got the easiest run of games to the top 4. He's got 1 game a week, and he's got 7 days to work with these players essentially to get them ready for the next game. He will cook every game from now until the end of the season. The Liverpool shouldn't be so confident playing against Tottenham. I'll be real with you. No one should be confident playing against Tottenham because Tottenham are so good at doing what they do, which is they will draw you in, and God bless him, Harry Kane, people disrespect him all the time. One of the still, even though he's had such a bad season as people say, still the best striker in the league, and it just shows you that how good he fucking is. So Kane, Son, Kulusevski, that combo is working for them, and they can hit you quick. So again, Tottenham aren't getting top 4 because of Tottenham Football Club and the players. It's Antonio Conte, and that's the sole reason as to why. And I don't think it's even a disrespect to Tottenham or the fans or the players when I say that. I mean it as a compliment to the manager. That's how good he is.
Up to English.
Egal, do you have the clip available, please? You know what clip I'm talking about.
Clip request. It's become the clip request show, man.
I can't believe it, bro. We've had 8 clips in the one show, man.
Come outside?
I don't have that. No.
Oh, you don't have it. Do you know that got clipped? Do you know when you said that?
After you
Do you know when you said that?
After you lost to Southampton.
Yeah, and what month was that?
Like December or January?
December. When does the season finish?
In May?
He's enjoying this.
That's 5 months ago. Now, I know you guys have been 8th for some time. Let me tell you how a season works. You get to May, and then you say stuff like that. Not in December. I will go straight for what Mojo said. The absolute arrogance of you Arsenal fans, bigging up how you were destroying the small teams. You've lost to teams, we all have, but you've lost to teams like Everton earlier on in the season, who obviously have been in the relegation zone. And quite recently, you've lost to both Palace and now Brighton. So you've lost to small teams as well. As long as we beat the small teams, you're not doing that now, are you? Oh, you've got a couple of injuries. You mock Chelsea with their injuries and all that, like, oh, they can't play a system. And you're exactly the same. You don't in January buy any players out, but we won't get any injuries. But you did, and now you can't handle it. I just can't believe the absolute arrogance of Arsenal fans, the absolute arrogance of things like that. And still, but we've still got the best young manager. We've still got the best youngsters and all that. that means nothing if you don't come fourth, because the way you were talking about it, you were already fourth. I remember, what was it, about 4 or 5 games ago? You were 6 points clear with a game in hand. Now your game in hand gets you level on points if you win it, and it's against Chelsea. That's how far you've fallen in such a thing like that. I know my team bottles and that, but you didn't even give yourself a thing like that you were going to bottle it. And now you come on here and all that, and you just play a little clip and you go, that's all I'm going to say. No, you came with chest in December. With you come outside Tottenham, I came outside. I opened the door. I couldn't see you, Egal. Where were you? The door slapped you in the face and you slid down like a cartoon. That's what happened to you. That's what happened when I came outside. I can't see you now, Egal. Where are you?
Okay, Alan.
You've gone quiet, Egal.
Are we gonna?
No, you've gone quiet. Where's the chest? Come back with me with something like you were about 5 games ago.
I'm gonna save Egal here, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Never mind.
It's already bad as it is because this is the outro.
And did you like the way at the end of the Spurs game? You know, where you celebrated against Aston Villa with your 1-0 win. Aston Villa gave us more of a game than they did against you because they were all over us in that first half and we held on. We beat them 4-0. Do you see how the Spurs players were mocking you by celebrating with the fans, over celebrating, just to let you know how stupid you look back then? Because right now at the moment you're 5th. You're welcome, Miguel.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on Vibes from the 6. It's been an incredible. It's been an incredible. No, we don't need to get onto Chelsea, man.
Bro, we won 6-0. Thank God for that.
There's nothing more to say about that.
Big up
Mojo, please
slap
Arsenal 6-0 please. I'm begging you.
Big up Brentford for beating West Ham. Big up Shrewsbury Hall and Leicester for putting on a show versus Crystal Palace. Pookie beat Burnley, so Burnley might actually get relegated. And Chris Wood's Newcastle got a point versus Wolves. So Wolves is European hunt again to finish above Manchester United. Does not look like it's going to happen this week. Anyway,
it is when it is when United lose the next 3 games. But on that note, thank you guys for joining us on Vibes from the 6. It's been another incredible show. No, not yet, Egal. Take it off, Egal. Got bring in the outro properly, man. Listen, after United lost this week, I was down. You know what I'm saying? 12:30 on a Saturday. I wasn't feeling too good. And then the 3 o'clock games kicked off. Egal, do you remember? Actually, you weren't in the space. I told them when the United game ended, I told them, you lot have 30 minutes to get this United banter off your chest because come 3 o'clock, either Chelsea or us. Yeah, I told them.
Someone was going to give you something. Wait, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. I don't know what happened. What happened?
Look at the timeline.
Hey, fix it. Don't worry, man.
It's on mute. But just to let you guys know, after Arsenal lost, the timeline was just full of my face.
My God.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so on that note, so when I saw the Arsenal game, Chelsea made quick work of it. Mojo, by the way, big up your boys. Did a wonderful job this week. They were 2-0 up in like 10-15 minutes already.
Bro,
and we knew
we won 6-0, but let's put it this way, we could have won by more goals if Werner didn't stop having crossbar challenges.
I knew at that moment Chelsea wasn't going to be the one I got, so I switched the Chelsea game off and I switched over to the Arsenal game, and let's just say it was an enjoyable one. By the end of the game, just to give you guys an understanding of how I was feeling at the end of the game, I have a clip here that Egal's going to play in a second. And when that second goal went in for Brighton, this is exactly what I was doing. Go on, Egal. And on that note, by the way, as well, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you subscribe. It's been another incredible show, and we will see you guys later on this week, I guess, Thursday or Friday.
God bless you all.
Come on, Southampton.
Look at this. Go on, Egal. Go, Egal. Go, Egal.
I'm dying, bro.
He's
dance for 6. 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 Dance for 6.
Hey.